Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome back to the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. And I'm your host, Kapil Gupta. And today's episode is something that could truly change your life. Let me ask you a simple question. If I told you that in just 6 months, you could completely transform your career, your mindset, and your daily life, would you believe me? Some of you might say, Kapil sir, 6 months is too short. Real change takes years. But let me stop you right there. 6 months is more than enough to see a new you, provided you take the right actions consistently. Think about it. In 6 months, you can lose weight, learn a new skill, save a decent amount of money, or even build a side hustle. The problem is not time, the problem is clarity, consistency, and commitment. And that is exactly what today's episode is all about. So, I'm going to walk you through the 5 powerful areas where you can take action and completely transform your life in just 6 months. So, whether you're a student preparing for exams, a young professional aiming for promotions, or simply someone who wants to upgrade their life, this podcast will show you how. So grab your notebook, sit back, and let's get started on the 6 months journey together. Hello, all. I'm Kapil Gupta, career coach, life mentor, and founder of Study Abroad Academy. I'm on a mission to help 100,000 high school students break free from confusion, fear, and self doubt and step into global classrooms, powerful careers, and a life they love. This isn't just about studying abroad, it's about building clarity, confidence, and character. I do it with coaching, mindset work, and the game changing power of graphotherapy because students deserve more than just guidance, they deserve transformation. So, the very first step in transforming your life is not external, it's internal. It's about resetting your mindset. Too often, we live with a fixed mindset, thinking our intelligence, talent, or circumstances cannot change. But here's the truth: you can rewire your brain. You can cultivate a growth mindset, which means seeing challenges as opportunities, failures as feedback, and learning as a lifelong habit. So, in these 6 months, I want you to become hyper aware of your thoughts. When you hear that inner voice saying, I can't do this, replace it with, I can learn how to do this. The difference may sound small, but it's life changing. Remember what our dear President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said: dream is not that which you see while sleeping, it's something that does not let you sleep. How profound. A growth mindset allows you to dream big and chase those dreams with action. So start by reading books, journaling your thoughts, or listening to podcasts that challenge your perspective. Create affirmations that remind you of your potential. By the end of 6 months, you'll notice that the way you think, respond, and act will change. And that is the real beginning of transformation. And now that your mindset is set, the second step is planning. Many people fail not because they are lazy, but because they don't have clarity. If you want to transform your life in 6 months, you need a roadmap. And the best way to do this is through SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So let's take an example. If you're a student preparing for competitive exams, don't just say, I want to study hard. That's vague. Instead, say, I'll complete 3 chapters of physics every week for the next 6 months. And that's specific and measurable. If you're a professional, don't say, I want to improve my career. Instead, say, I'll complete a certification in digital marketing by the end of 6 months. Break your big goal into monthly milestones and weekly actions. Track your progress religiously. When you see yourself ticking off small goals, your motivation skyrockets. Imagine yourself 6 months later looking back and realizing that every week you moved closer to your dream. That is the power of smart goal mapping. And once the goals are in place, it's time to build the habits that will take you there. Success is not about one big effort, it's about small actions repeated daily. This is where habit engineering comes in. Design a morning routine that energizes you. It could include 20 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of journaling, and 20 minutes of reading. Now, that's less than an hour, but sets the tone for your entire day. Use productivity hacks like the Pomodoro technique, time blocking, or even simple to do lists to stay on track. One powerful trick is habit stacking. Connect a new habit to an old one. For example, if you already have the habit of drinking tea in the morning, stack a new habit with it, like writing 3 things you are grateful for while sipping your tea. Over 6 months, these small changes compound into massive results. And remember James Clear's famous lines from Atomic Habits: you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So build the systems, and the results will follow. And here comes the exciting part. If you want to transform your career, you must invest in learning new skills. But instead of trying to learn everything at once, focus on rapid skill sprints. These are intense, focused periods of 4 to 6 weeks where you master one in demand skill. Let's say you're interested in coding. In 6 weeks, you can finish a beginner friendly Python course and start building small projects. If you're interested in digital marketing, you can complete a certification and start running ad campaigns. If design excites you, platforms like Canva, Figma, or Adobe XD can be learned in just weeks. And in 6 months, you can complete at least 3 of these sprints, making you employable, confident, and ready for the future. And here's the secret: employers today don't just look for degrees, they look for skills. By focusing on micro learning and intense sprints, you stand out in interviews and open doors to freelance projects, side hustles, and even entrepreneurship. So, the last piece of this transformation puzzle is community and branding. No matter how talented you are, growth is faster when you're surrounded by the right people. Join communities, online or offline, where people share your interests and goals. Be active on platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram, where you can share your progress, connect with mentors, and showcase your work. Personal branding is not just for influencers, it's for everyone. In 6 months, you can create a simple personal brand that tells the world who you are and what you stand for. Start by posting once a week about what you're learning, what challenges you are facing, and what progress you're making. Trust me, you'll be surprised by how many people resonate with your journey. Networking and branding don't just bring opportunities, they bring accountability. When people see you making progress, you feel motivated to stay consistent, and consistency is the key to transformation. So, my friends, let's recap. In the next 6 months, if you focus on resetting your mind, mapping smart goals, engineering habits, sprinting through new skills, and building your network and brand, you will not be the same person you are today. 6 months may feel short, but it's long enough to create a visible, powerful transformation. And as the saying goes, don't overestimate what you can do in a day, but never underestimate what you can do in 6 months. So the future version of you is waiting, and it's time to go and meet them. So here's my challenge for you. Take 10 minutes after this podcast to write down one big goal for the next 6 months. Then break it into three smaller milestones and write down the first habit you'll start tomorrow. Just one, and then stick to it. If you found today's podcast helpful, share it with a friend who also dreams of transforming their life. And don't forget to follow the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show for more such powerful, life changing conversations. So, this is Kapil Gupta signing off. Remember, 6 months from now, you'll either have excuses or results. The choice is yours.